God, learn about each other and how to better serve our community, God. We thank you for this opportunity, God. Guide our conversation, give us insight and wisdom as we go forward. We thank you and we praise you. In your name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that. Okay, aloha. Welcome everyone to the Kiwanis Club of San Diego Power Hour. How's everybody doing out there? Woohoo! Let's see, do we have a song or something today? Are we going to do any kind of theme song, Karina? Or
I didn't have any in there today, so if you want to go ahead and sing, we can, or we can press on here.
Well, let's see. Anybody have any burning desire to sing out there?
Or you could just go instrumental with the Ventures on Hawaii 5-0, which is one of our theme questions from one of those game nights, right, Karina?
It sure is. Way to go. Yeah, well.
That's so awesome. Thank you. Well, I would say that, we have all been super excited about this week, and today's event is, of course, our Power Hour. We're going to share stories of Kiwanis. We're going to share a little bit about the future of Kiwanis. We're going to hear from dignitaries within Kiwanis. And thank you, Karina, for putting together today's program. Let's see, what do we have coming up?
But first, before we get all into that, we have a special presentation today. And I will ask if Justin Frisco, our chairman of the day, can do the honors and introduce our speaker.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Hello, fellow Kiwanians. It's my pleasure. I get to introduce Bernard. I think he goes by Bernie, though. And he's CEO of Oncology and Kids. He's a local, went to Mira Mesa High School, and then got his BA at Dartmouth. He's been in the nonprofit world for, looks like probably over a decade now, and definitely has always been in a situation where he's helping people through cancer. So whether it was with the American Cancer Society or the Shiani Foundation, and now with Oncology and Kids, which many of you probably have not heard of. It's a relatively new organization, but they have been doing good work for well over a year in this capacity. It helps children and their families who need to recover from emotional toll of diagnosis and treatment. They were founded in 2020 with 3 longtime volunteers to take over the free peer support quality of life program at Camp Reach for the Sky. The camp consists of 7 sessions and services to help kids affected by cancer. To date, they've helped more than 24,000 kids affected by cancer, and they are one of only 3 gold ribbon programs in the state of California. So with that, I'll turn over to Bernie to share a few words.
Well, folks, thanks for having me. Justin, thank you again for for sending us the information to even apply. It's kind of funny. Number one, we love the Hawaiian theme. We always have themes at camp. For those of you who don't know, so yeah, Justin hit it on the head. So myself and Robbie are actually 2 native San Diegans. We went to high school together. So Robbie, who's our COO, is actually an osteosarcoma survivor. So when we were in high school playing baseball, that's when he was diagnosed. So he's got his prosthetic on his right leg. He went to the camps when he was a kid. He met his wife there. They've got 2 sets of twins. It's fascinating. They were never supposed to have kids just based on his treatment protocol, but they've got 2 beautiful sets of twins. The oldest ones are best friends with my 6-year-old daughter. So we took over Camp Reach for the Sky, which has been around since 1983. It's a local group that basically we do camp programs for kids that are battling cancer and their siblings. So we do 7 total programs now, which is a resident oncology camp. So we have full volunteer medical staff. We can handle chemo on site at camp if we need to. So we've got the medical staff from Rady Children's Hospital, Kaiser, Balboa Naval Medical. Dr. Roberts, who is the head of hematology and oncology at Rady Children's, is actually one of our volunteer counselors. So, to put that in perspective, when say a 10-year-old who's in treatment jumps off the bus into camp, which is a completely new setting, and they see their medical staff dressed up as clowns or dressed up in Hawaiian gear for the theme, it really puts them in a different space. Our goal is to make sure that we take these kids out of their usual hospital, home, all the chaos that they're in, and bring them into an arena where they can just be kids again, siblings included. So we also do a sibling camp. We do a day camp for our young kids, 4 to 8 years old. We also do a teen weekend, which is more based on leadership qualities, which is why we love the Kiwanis and the future of the Kiwanis and where things go. I mean, you all are leaders in the community. And then we do a family camp, so kids that have a parent that's in treatment, and as well as we do a bereavement camp as well. So any family that's lost a child or a parent to cancer. And this year, your funding is going to help us do our second year of virtual camp. So obviously COVID threw things a little bit into disarray. Usually we're doing in-person camps, and you're talking, we have about 500 kids that come to our system every single year. So we had to take all those camps and put them online in 2020. We'll be doing it again this year. But I mean, we brought every single facet, from the camp dance to the talent show to the marshmallow fight. We had a panel discussion with Major League Baseball players. We had a panel discussion with NFL players. We had, Channel 93 did our whole camp dance. We took all of the best pieces of in-person camp, put that online, and now it's become a staple of sort of what we're doing moving forward. We ended up having kids from Mexico, Canada, 7 other states log into the camp, and even from their hospital beds, which was amazing. We knew that there was going to be something different, but to see it sort of in scope and in real time was fascinating. And especially for a group like ours, we've been around for a long time. It was just in 2020, we had to take the camp program over from the Shawnee Foundation. That's why we exist. So we took the program over. We've been doing it for a while, but we're here to make sure that kids are just simply able to be kids again, and to take the stress off of their shoulders, and to allow the parents to have a brief respite from a childhood cancer diagnosis. But that's sort of who we are. I love the fact that San Diego Futures Foundation is on this call as well. We actually wrote a grant to them to get a laptop donated, which our medical staff actually uses for camp docs when they track all of the medications that the kids are using, so we know exactly where the kids are and what's going on within their treatment protocol. So groups like ours are built to make sure that we partner and collaborate with groups that are community driven and that serve the greater purpose of San Diego as a whole. So from the bottom of our hearts, from a group like yours that has puts a lot of time and energy into not only your presentations, which I got to tell you, I'm gonna have to steal some of the music and some of the slides that you guys use for the presentations, because they're on a different level. I don't know how to do it, but we may have to figure it out. We'll have to have a conference call, but also just the work you really do in the community on a regular basis, and supporting everyone. The camp is done in Julian. Yes, so we actually do the overnight camps, so oncology camp, sibling camp, the weekend camps. We do those in Julian, either at YMCA Camp Marston, Camp Cedar Glen, which is where we do sibling camp, or Camp Whispering Winds. And then for the day camp for the little kids, we do that at Balboa Park at the Girl Scout camp. This year, virtual camp, like I said, will be on Zoom. We'll probably have, last year we averaged about 150 to 200 people a night. We'll probably be about 300 people a night. So it's a big operation, but it's a ton of fun. All the kids are broken up into their breakout rooms, which is kind of nice, which are sort of their cabins. And our counselors take them through a bunch of different activities. And there's a lot of pre-recorded content as well. And then we will actually be doing an in-person camp September 24th to the 26th at the Temecula KOA Vail Lake location. So we're excited about that. And for any of you, the biggest thing is if you run into a family that needs us, that has had a childhood cancer diagnosis, or that even has had a parent diagnosed, give us a call. That's what we're here for. All these programs are free. No family pays anything. So as long as they get to either one of our meeting spots where we take them, or they get involved in our programs, we take care of all the costs. So cancer is expensive enough as is. A family should not have to worry about the additional costs of things that go into it. So thanks to all of you for being such leaders in the community and for making our programs possible. We can't wait to invite you to one of our junior council calls. That way you can see some of the kids in action, and you'll really see sort of what we're all about, and making sure that we're no longer that best kept secret in San Diego. Any questions, please? I mean, we're an open book, so by all means, we've been doing it for a while. We have a lot of fun. We get to act like kids most of the time. You'd be surprised how many times I've worn this Hawaiian shirt at at camp during one of the theme days. So it's gotten its fair share of use.
Thank you so much, Bernie. And just so that the whole club knows, this organization is actually one of our newest partners. We just approved at the foundation to grant this wonderful organization with $15,000 for this virtual camp for all the supplies. So we are very excited. We love the energy from you, Bernie, and we are looking very forward to partnering with you and getting involved in upcoming events and all of that. So thanks so much for being here and for everything you do for our community and all those kids out there. So thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Feel free to jump off, or if you want to stay and learn about Kiwanis, we're just going to be going all into that kind of stuff today.
Let's go. I'm all in.
All right, let me formally say. Speaking of our grant recipients, in case you didn't know, our Kiwanis Club partners with a lot of organizations in the community. We actually had 2 rounds of requests for proposals go out this year. Again, all the way that we do funding has changed up in the last couple of years. We kicked it off with our centennial funding last year to celebrate our 100 years. And this year we did a couple requests for proposals, and our recipients this year are Burn Institute, Eco Life, Foundation for the Children of the Californias, Home of Guiding Hands, the MAC Committee, Monarch School Project, the New Children's Museum, Oncology and Kids, Rady Children's, Ronald McDonald, San Diego Futures, the CLNSW Family Foundation, and Urban Core. So just so you know, we have lots of outreach that we do in the community, in case you didn't know that before, and we're very excited about all the organizations. Keep in mind, if you do have an organization you want to apply for funding, we do start up in the fall, and we're always looking to introduce new organizations to the club.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Me?
All right. And we actually have all 3 birthday boys in the house. Woo-hoo! That means you owe us some money. I wonder what our donations are.
Yeah.
Sean, how much money do you owe us? Just kidding.
$1 million.
Close to it. Well, it should be 86.
All right.
30.
Just so everyone knows how we do birthday donations, it was we ask for your years of life plus your years in Kiwanis. So Sean, thank you for your birthday donation.
Was that
And
a
thank you, everyone.
30?
Let's give it up for our birthday boys. Does anyone have anything fun that they did for their birthday despite COVID and everything?
Yeah. Had drinks at my brother's house with the family without having to wear masks.
There you go. Great.
Mine,
And Lauren, I'm in for the Hyundai on this one. So
Woohoo!
just send me an invoice.
wow, way to go, Doug. My birthday is on Friday, so haven't celebrated yet, but looking forward to it. And since I'm much younger than Doug, my years of Kiwanis plus my age, it's a little under 50. So I'll just say I'm going to donate $50. Not to make Doug feel all by himself.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Nice try.
All
Great.
right, April birthdays. Great job, guys.
All right. We have sent out our membership survey multiple times. If you have filled it out and are on this call, you are not going to be fined, but Lauren, our find master, is going to be checking off the boxes here and seeing who hasn't, and you might get a little ding fine here. But again, we really want every member to fill out this survey so that we can better gauge where we need to go in the future and what the interests are and all of that. It's kind of like a club revival is what we're going through. We survived the pandemic, so let's figure out how we're going to pave the way for our future. So please take the time to fill that out. I would really appreciate it.
How can we,
John, were you about to ask how we can find the survey? Perhaps it can be posted here in the chat one more time, and then just try to screen scrape or click on it in the chat and it'll take you right to the form. Does that cover it, Sean? Just, I don't want to step on you.
I'd also say, Mike, that if you got a confirmation email that you used to click on to this meeting, the member survey is also in that. So if you clicked into the meeting, you probably could click on the survey and also fill it out. Thank you in advance.
Great.
I've already filled out a survey.
All right, does anyone have any bills, bucks, anything someone's happy or sad about? Justin.
Yeah, I was just celebrating my wife's birthday this last week. So with the we were supposed to go to Costa Rica last year for her 40th, which obviously did not happen. And this year she did get a spa day in and a new car. So I think we've well made up for Costa Rica, but I'll throw in $20 for her.
Good man.
Happy Bill
Justin.
Bucks.
Happy birthday to your wife.
Chuck Day.
Hey, I've got 20 sad bucks. I didn't see Jeffcoat there Friday night, but I was at that Padre baseball game, 4 hours and 57 minutes. When I left, the game was over at 11:07. It's terrible. 12:07, I guess it was. But
Didn't the Dodgers win that game? I'm just checking.
oh, be quiet. Whoever that is ought to be shot. I just want to throw $20 sad bucks into that just to see to tell you though. But it was sure good to be back at baseball. So, Jade, were you there somewhere? I missed you.
Oh yeah, I haven't missed a game yet. And that night, and I'll throw in $50. We were celebrating Joyce's birthday. So we had 14 of her relatives and here at the condo, 3 hours before the game. And then son Ryan bartended and hosted everyone that stayed and watched the game from my patio while Joyce and I went down and saw the game live till 11, whatever it was at night. And, quite a game, but disappointing result. Unless you're Doug Frost.
I think we should permanently mute him, by the way.
Yeah, he's lucky he's way back in the dark, deep woods where he can't be found. Jay, thank you for sharing, and same, Charles. Jay, do you have any reflections on the no-no? You were at that game, or that was away?
You know, it was just being a Padre fan for the 53 years, as I was an NROTC midshipman in law school at UCLA, I was stationed aboard the USS Montrose here in San Diego for the first summer that the Padres existed. So if we wore our Navy midshipman little ice cream sales outfits to the game, we got in free. So I probably, I don't know, made 20 games in the first year the Padres existed. And I've been at many, near no hitters over the 53 years and 8,324 games, whatever, who's counting. But, I was misty, I was emotional, got a lot of texts from a lot of people around the country, and as did my son. So anyway, it was a very, very special day, and Musgrove continues to do well. I mean, he threw well enough to win last night if we just could have gotten some offensive support.
It's a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing, and what a great thing to have it be a hometown player. So
okay,
so
I'll throw in behind that. Put me in for match on Jeffcoat. I also was there Friday night, and when we got home, Lee looked at the clock and said to me, I think this is the latest in our 32 years of being Padre season ticket holders we've ever gotten back to Scripps Ranch from the end of a game. So I think that's worth $50 in and of itself. Although I spent the $50, Jay, on buying her what she insisted on, the no Musgrove brown shirt, even though she hates brown. I don't know if Joyce hit you up for that yet. If not, you should pay that fine here to the Kiwanis Club, but throw me in for the 50 match on Jay there.
Awesome.
And Jay, I'll see you tonight at tonight's game.
Yep, we'll be there.
Thank you all.
So, hey, how do you get tickets? Just, can you actually get in? I figured you couldn't get in. There's only season ticket holders.
I think StubHub is making a fortune.
Yeah, I'll tell you that story, Carl. On Saturday, about 3 hours before the game, when Lee got the call from the person down the street that we needed to go help out in the neighborhood, and we decided to not go to the Dodger game, I put the tickets up on StubHub and they sold in 3 minutes. Like I probably could have sold them for triple the price of them. I mean, there are definitely tickets and they're selling like hotcakes.
So, but it's basically season ticket holders and StubHub.
Yeah, that's the problem. The economic equilibrium is if you're a season ticket holder, you want to go to the game, and you could literally, if you didn't go to the game, you'd probably sell them for a fortune.
I think Gordon should pay that whatever he got off StubHub to the club, because I'm sure a Dodger fan took the seats.
Well, so it's interesting that you say that, Chuck, because very specifically, Lee and I watched on TV to make sure that it wasn't. Fortunately, it wasn't. It was somebody wearing Padres, but I'll take another $50 hit just for taking that risk, because I really did throw it out there and it could have been a Dodger fan. So throw me another 50 for that risk, duly noted by Chuck Day, Mr. Risk Management.
Gordon Burner. Thank you.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
I'll
Thank you. Any other?
I'll throw in $20 because I finally got my first shot, so I can almost kiss you guys on the mouth as soon as I get my second one. So counting down for that. Which I wanted to also in my happy dollars is Kiwanis of Concord loves my trivia night so much that they got board approval for me to host their monthly trivia night, which is sad for me to announce to all of you that I'm not going to be doing my trivia nights for the next couple months. I'm actually hoping for next month on the second Friday to actually host a happy hour at my courtyard or down at the bay, depending on how many people we come. So get ready for that. I'm over the virtual events and I'm ready to see you all in person and very excited for what's to come on that horizon.
Awesome news, Karina. Congratulations. Have fun.
But I'm not going to let everyone get too depressed about trivia because I've got one last game for you and it's going to be right now. So get your trivia hats on. There are going to be no winners tonight, but we're going to get down to some basics about Kiwanis. We're going to start it off with Kiwanis.org, which is Kiwanis at large. Let's test your knowledge of what you know about the club. What is the Kiwanis motto?
Go Padres.
What is the Kiwanis motto? Does anyone know? I would hope that Mark or Doug would know this.
Children of the world?
Yeah, who said that? RC?
Serving the
I
children.
did.
Serving the children. No, Mike. Serving the children.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I had children of the world.
One child, one community at a time.
Serving the children of the world. In our club, a couple years ago, we had a strategic plan that we said our vision is to strengthen San Diego by supporting San Diego's youth. All right, 20. What division is our club in?
11.
All right, good. Just so people know, Division 11, how we are divided is into divisions. In our division, we have Bonita Club, Chula Vista, Imperial Beach, Southeastern, South Bay Marina, Sweetwater, and Tijuana. And currently our Lieutenant Governor is Gary Trishman. And if you ever want to get into the higher rankings of Kiwanis, there's always lots of volunteer opportunities. And we meet with all of the clubs once a month virtually on Zoom. So if you're ever interested in hearing about what's going on, the other clubs in our community, that's a great way to do it. For 30, what district is our club in?
Mark.
Heather got it. Cal Neva, California, Nevada, and Hawaii, which in my opinion is one of the best because we have the potential to go to Hawaii for our district conventions, which Mark said will hopefully be in a few years. But just wanted to remind everyone that the district convention is normally held in August, and it's actually going to be in San Diego this year if all goes to plan. And we will definitely need some volunteers and some help for that. But before August, our governor, Gary Gray, is actually going to be doing a virtual visit on May 8th. And you can register on our website. All the information will be sent out. I will be hosting a fun game of Family Feud. So if you want to come check it out, that'll be a great virtual event. Just log in from home and have a good time with us. Okay, 40. What are the Kiwanis youth clubs? List all 4 from primary, elementary school to college.
K-Kids.
Yeah, Heather can do this. Let's hear it, Heather.
Okay.
How many of them was Heather in? I don't know.
Okay. K-Kids, Builders Club, Key Club, Circle K.
Yeah, girl. All right. We got K Club. And Heather, you were in Key Club, right?
I was in Key Club and K-Kids.
K-Kids and Key Club. Yes, so K-Kids is elementary, Builders Club is middle, junior, Key Club, high school, Circle K. And also, in case you didn't know, Kiwanis also sponsors Action Clubs, which are the only service clubs for adults with disabilities, and they have over 12,000 members worldwide. So in case you didn't know that, and in case you know of anyone that is an adult with a disability, great way for them to get involved. Okay, last one under our Kiwanis. What 2 deadly diseases has Kiwanis helped to eliminate worldwide?
Neonatal tetanus.
That's one. What's the one from back in the day, in the early 90s?
Oh,
Polio.
Nope.
No, IDD.
Yes,
Right.
all right. Iodine deficiency disorder. We helped raise $100 million towards the elimination of IDD. We partnered with UNICEF, and it was one of the most successful health initiatives. A huge part of that, thanks to Kiwanis. And recent, starting in 2010, we've been fighting maternal and neonatal tetanus, which, if you really want to cry your eyes out, that is a horrible disease for both the mother and the child. So great effort that we've been making. So Kiwanis not only does local support, but it supports organizations and causes worldwide. Is everyone having fun, or is everyone bored out of their life?
this is great, Karina.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so now our teams, which we're hoping to revive our teams, which are things that we like to support. One of our strongest teams is our environmental team. What kind of event does our environmental team organize?
Beach cleanup.
Beach cleanup.
Woohoo! Yes, we do our beach cleanups, which I think now that we're getting in person again, we might have RC and Mama
Yeah.
LeBeau.
Let's
I was
do
thinking,
it.
well, I don't know about Mama LeBeau, but I was thinking towards the end of May, she might be, I don't know when her due date is, but I can take it on and spearhead that myself. So we're thinking towards
It's
the end
pretty
of May. we'll
soon.
do
I saw
something.
her Friday.
Yeah, I think she's already on maternity leave. So, but great,
Yeah.
RC. We look forward to having another beach cleanup.
Great.
What is the annual event our club hosts around the time of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln's birthdays?
St. Patrick's Day.
Flourish for Leaders.
Yes.
Nice.
It's the Washington Lincoln laurels for
Yeah.
me. Stop that.
My
good.
apologies from the police, but
Very
yes,
good.
we had Laurels for Leaders, and normally this event is 300 to 500 people in person at SDSU, but we managed to pull it off virtually and actually had a record-breaking 95 ASB presidents on the call, and Gordon knocked it out of the park. We had a really great time, and looking forward to having this event in person next year. But we've got lots of positive feedback, and it was great to make 95 kids feel special for one day during this crazy time of our lives. Okay, 30. What 5 schools do we award with foundation scholarships? Justin and Steve probably know them all.
UCSD,
San Marcos.
USD, San Diego State,
Point Loma.
and Point Loma.
Oh yeah, okay. Point Loma, San Diego State, USD, Cal State San Marcos, and UCSD. And every year we recognize our scholars at a club luncheon. Normally in the spring, Steve Morris is our chair and he rocks. And that luncheon is always very fun. Great to hear what these kids are doing and with really bright futures. So always check that out around March, April to hear from our awesome students. Okay. Service leadership projects, our SLP. What are the key clubs that our club sponsors?
San Diego High.
There.
Yep, and there's one more.
Saint
Yes. All right, our club sponsors 2 key clubs, San Diego High School, and as of this year, we also support the St. Augustine Key Club. So thanks to our SLP captains, David J. and Heather Robinson. Heather, I think, is actually going to visit with St. Augustine tomorrow, right, Heather?
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks for all you do. Okay, and for 50, how much did our club donate to local organizations for our special centennial grant giving? Any ballpark idea of how much our club donated?
100,000.
Sounds right.
Maybe 115.
Okay, drum roll. $220,000 and 700 or 20. You got it. Our club is fortunate to have a Kiwanis Foundation that is approximately $6 million, which is a very big selling point for any new potential members. So just want to remind everyone that this is not a normal thing for Kiwanis clubs to have such a robust foundation, and we are very, very fortunate, and it's just a great way to be a part of such an awesome organization. Okay.
Most clubs spend a huge amount of time fundraising. We don't have to spend as much time doing that. So it really does, set our sights on actually giving out to the community.
Yeah.
Great
All
point.
right.
That's what's the fun part.
And last, this is about members of our club, or our club itself. What year was our club formed?
1920.
1920.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our club charter date is September 14th, 1920. So over 100 years of service to San Diego and beyond. Another great selling point for a potential new member.
And first president, Harry Fraser of Fraser Boiler, right? Question mark?
Oh.
That is still question mark, Gordon. I can't find who our first president was, but I do have that he was president in 1921. So I'm assuming that he was the president in 1920. Maybe someone, Mark or Doug, do you know?
We just have Fraser as the one that we recognize.
He was my customer at the bank, and he told me like about 20, well, before I even was in Kiwanis, he told me he was part of the first leadership team. So I'm assuming he was the first
Incredible.
president.
Wonderful.
By the way, rest in peace, Harry. Mark, I don't know if you know, but Harry passed away here. Gosh, it's probably been a decade now or so.
How old are you, Gordon?
Old. Old enough to have my vaccine.
Okay, who was the oldest member of our club? Bonus for knowing how old he was when he passed.
Well, 106.
Bill Gibbs.
Bill.
Yes.
Yeah, Bill Gibbs, 106 years young and loved the ladies. We miss him dearly, and every week up until his final days, he'd come to our luncheon and put in $1 saying, "I'm still here." So we definitely miss him, and we're always thinking about him.
What a good man.
All right. Who was our first woman president? Bonus. What
Sally
year
Hazel.
was she president?
Sally.
Sally.
95.
Yep.
96. And in case you didn't know, women actually weren't allowed to be in Kiwanis until 1987, the year I was born. So, that's pretty crazy that's when we were allowed to finally have women to get involved. And thankfully, because who knows where Kiwanis would be without all the women around the world, just saying.
God knows.
And before we leave that one, Doug or Mike, you might know the answer to this, Doug, in your historian role. Who do we think nominated Sally at the luncheon to become the first female president? I
don't know that.
I think I recall. Was it not Bruce Boland? I'm going to put everything in my wallet on Bruce Boland as the person that made that nomination. If you find that in the tidings, Doug.
I'll have to look in that year, but okay.
All right, we passed to Doug now. Okay, which member has served as our foundation president twice? We have a 2-timer. Anyone know?
Foundation or club?
The foundation.
Chuck
Floros?
Day.
Mr. Floros.
It is Jim Floros. He served 04 to 05 and 2019 to 2020.
Did he win an award? Because all he does is win awards anymore.
That's mustache.
Yeah, best mustache.
And gentlest for holding the sack of potatoes, which is Steve's favorite picture of Jim. All right, last one. Which 2 members have been club president twice?
Don Sturrick and Brian Krause.
Oh, I didn't know Dawn was too. That's my bad then. There's
Don
3.
Stewart was the first one to serve twice.
Judy
And
Light.
Judy Lightner.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know it was Dawn was in there, so I now need to be
Yeah.
fine myself. But I had Judy for 2007, 2008, and 2019, 20, and Kraus was 13, 14, and 18, 19. We are always looking for leaders of this club, whether you want to serve on the board or be an officer. So if you have some extra time and you want to help serve, we could always use some leadership. So definitely let us know. That is it for our trivia, but I wanted to highlight a couple members to talk about, why they're in Kiwanis and what it means to them, et cetera, et cetera. So RC, I'm going to start with you, Ryan.
Let's see. So why I joined Kiwanis. This was years ago, going back to my days when I was at Merrill Lynch with Brian Krause, who was already a member of Kiwanis. And I know that the foundation was looking for a new asset manager to come in and help with the foundation on managing the assets. And Brian threw my hat in the ring on that. And so at that same time, I decided to kind of step up and join the club, and have been the president in 2013. Have served on the Kiwanis Club board for a number of years. I'm currently the club board treasurer, and also work on the environmental team. So those are the areas that I enjoy giving back to the club.
Thanks, RC. Mark, let's hear from you since we don't get to see you that often, but we always love having you around.
Well, I moved halfway back to San Diego, so I'm a little closer now. I joined in the summer of 1988. My insurance agent asked me to go to lunch. I had no idea what Kiwanis was. So I met Griff Hayes, and we had lunch at the Kiwanis Club, and he was the president of the club that year, and asked me that day if I'd join, and I wanted to do some research. So I didn't join until September. I think they inducted me. And the reason I joined was, of all of the clubs you could possibly join in the United States of America, it's the only club where you get to choose what it is you do in the community. And all the things you mentioned in your trivia and your scholarships and the programs that you're involved in, there's the district. My office doesn't tell you how to take care of your club or what to spend your money on. Kiwanis International doesn't. You can participate in district programs, you can participate in international programs, but your club gets to decide exactly what you get to do and how you do your service and raise your money and spend it. So there are many organizations, and you have to partake in whatever their program is. And I will tell you that having served as an officer of the club for over 20 years, 15 as a treasurer, president right in front of Sally Hazard. Sally followed me. It's just an awesome organization that the San Diego Kiwanis Club is, and I am so proud to be a member. Thank you.
Great. Gordon.
Hello. Well, I'm just another in the long list from way back of the J. Jeffcoat recruiting team. I actually managed the ground floor of the First Interstate Bank building at 401B, and Jay was up on the 22nd floor with an incredible view of the Coronado Islands, and he invited me to lunch. I had the benefit of the table he put me at included Don Sturrick, Charlie Kakos, Connie Jameson, and Don McKee. And unlike Mark, I didn't have to wait to sign up. I mean, after spending lunch with those folks and then meeting Bruce Bolin and Sal Hazard, who were sitting right behind me at the table, before I walked out of the room, I had agreed to join. And I'll never forget to this day, Bill Gibbs walking up to me, putting his arm around me and saying, "You're young blood in this club. Someday when I'm gone, you will be running this club." Needless to say, I don't think either Bill or I knew he was going to be around as long as he ended up being around. As far as why I stayed, interestingly enough, and a lot of you already know this, I mean, I got a promotion soon thereafter. After spending 4 or 5 really solid years in Kiwanis, I ended up having to go to Rancho Santa Fe and commuting a bunch up into Orange County. And so I couldn't make a lot of the meetings for about a decade and a half or so. But the blood of the club, the enthusiasm, the great stuff that Mark talked about was the reason I hung. And the other reason was laurels. I had been involved in the Scripps Ranch High School opening because I was very involved in the Scripps Ranch Town Council back in '94. And we opened the school and had our first ASB president, and I got into laurels and became a fan of that. And so even when I was non-commuting, I always made sure I went back every year to laurels and tried to make at least 1 or 2 other meetings a year whenever possible. And then fortunately, as we came into COVID, we got realigned and doggone it, here we go. We're not downtown anymore and we're at Admiral Baker, and I started to have the ability to get back in. And I found this incredible new club with this new blood, a more diverse club than we had before in the old days, both from a gender standpoint and an age standpoint and an enthusiasm standpoint. But we still had the Sean McCardles, and we still had the people from the way back whens and the newbies, which for us back then was the Carl Nettletons and the Jim Floros and myself, when we still all had black hair instead of gray hair. And it's just the kind of thing that motivates you to like go on. And so as you heard early on, I'm also part of the new Scripps Ranch Kiwanis Club. By the way, just for the record, Mark, Scripps Ranch wouldn't mind being annexed into Division 11. Hint, hint, hint there. But again, it's a different club with a different culture. It'll never be the same as this incredible club, but we'll try to make it as good as we possibly can.
Thanks, Gordon. Does anyone else have any fun Kiwanis moments or memories or anything they'd like to share of why they've stayed in Kiwanis or what makes Kiwanis so special to you?
Karina, if I may share, many may not know that I got involved through Washington Lincoln Laurels for Leaders. And I can remember when I was just out of high school and at Mesa College before I went to UCSD, and my dad invited me to go to the Laurels for Leaders, and just being very impressed by the tremendous acumen and spirit of these young people, and realizing that I had just come through that and that I had no bearing on community giving as a high schooler. So got involved with the Armed Services Y with my folks, and just fortunate that my parents were involved in the community, and then felt like I wanted to also contribute. So started through Laurels and then came into the club.
Well, you're also you're a second gen Kiwanian though. Let's also give it up to Bruce Bolin, who is a remarkable member of this club and someone we all miss dearly.
Oh, thank you, Karina, for saying that. Yeah.
Carl?
Yeah, no, it's my experience goes way back to when I was in high school, and before that, when I was playing in Pony League, I was on the Kiwanis Pony League team, and the coach of the team was a member of La Jolla Kiwanis, and he was kind of a second dad to me. And I was in Key Club and probably at his urging in high school. And my mentor Seth Brown, who was also a member of the La Jolla Club, was a Kiwanian. Bruce Bolin was on my board when I ran the San Diego Oceans Foundation, and just had a lot of good experience with good people that were involved in Kiwanis throughout my life. And when Scotty and Jay took me to lunch at the University Club and said you should join, it was pretty hard to say no. And I got recruited into Downtown Rotary, which theoretically has more big hitters and all that stuff. And I said, well, why would I want to do that though? Because I've got all these good people doing that care less about that and more about what we're doing for the community. So I said no and stayed here.
Well, thankfully, and my goal is to make us as wonderful and powerful as our Rotary 33, our big competitor, because honestly, I feel like we have so many movers and shakers and amazing people in our club, and we're just under the radar. So I'm going to be challenging everyone. May is going to be our membership month challenge. And I want everyone to be thinking about one person they can invite to Kiwanis. We still are going to be meeting virtually for the next couple months until we can figure out how to meet in person. And, inviting someone to Zoom. I know we all have Zoom fatigue, but we do have some amazing speakers coming up. So I just wanted to share some of our upcoming events. Let me first, though, recap our last trivia night. I just wanted everyone to note that I did 6 costume changes during one event. Okay, that we had our Northern California people, so I wore a Niners hat for them because there was lots of bashing. Jay, I really went to bat for the Padres for you, even though I'm not even really a baseball fan, and I was being schooled all this trivia that I did not know the answers to. But we had a great time, and I will be doing more in the future. And thank you to everyone that supported me. I can't believe it's been over a year that I've been doing these now. So thank you all for participating and having a lot of fun with me. All right, and then upcoming, our next luncheon is going to be awesome. We get to hear straight about the new stadium going in Mission Valley. So it's going to be a really awesome presentation, a great one to invite a potential new member. So I'm putting that little bird in all of your ear now, May 4th, noon, for our SDSU presentation. I already mentioned Governor Gary is going to be coming on May 8th for that virtual visit. And then...
Who is a kid? Well, that's a kid. And another. Look, a gaggle of them. Or is it a herd? Litter? Pride. But what about her? Tell her she's not a kid. Or him. So how do we tell who is a kid? Height? Age, maybe. But some of us have to grow up faster than others. A kid. A kid wants to make the world better. And one day, he just might. Is a kid fearless? Vulnerable? Strong? Nervous? Yes. 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 Kiwanis is 600,000 kids at heart doing all the little and big things it takes to help children.
Is that video available someplace where we can share it on Facebook and stuff?
Yeah, it's on the Kiwanis International website. They have a whole library of these that are for the clubs to use. In fact, their AV department will actually design a logo for your club, specific to your club, that has the K in it.
I'll be sure to post it on. I'll post it on our Facebook, Carl, so you can just share it. So after the meeting, I'll put it on our Kiwanis Facebook page. Which, if you didn't know, we have a Kiwanis Facebook page. So please like it. Please share our events. Thank you, Justin and Steve, for always liking and sharing. But I just wanted to remind everyone that we do have that. And again, I just want to challenge. Membership month. Okay, let's grow this club. I know that it's, a tough time, but we're coming out of it. And I really feel like a lot of people have a new renowned look on life and are looking to give back. And this is a great time to just invite someone. You never know. There's no harm in asking. So I just really want to challenge everyone to get out there and see who you can bring into this awesome organization. And with that. That's it from me, Mike.
You're awesome, Karina. Thank you so much. You absolutely crushed this meeting. Thank you so much for the organization for Kids with Cancer. That was such a moving piece, Bernie. And for Justin for being our chairman of the day, the rousing Bills Bucks, that was overwhelming. Thank you all for that. And yeah, let's get the membership up, and I look forward to our upcoming meetings. Take care, everyone.
Go Padres.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, go Pods.